Guys, it's time to give the garden a little TLC. After we installed the last of the SIPs on our house, we decided we needed to take the weekend off. We were so pooped, both physically and mentally. Little did we know it, but that weekend off was gonna turn into something much, much longer. Somewhere in our stretch of time off, we realized we were burned out. We didn't want to work on the house, think about the house, or even spend much time looking at the house, to be honest. We'd achieved such a huge milestone, but that excitement was short-lived, as we knew the next stretch of work was going to be a long, challenging one. Maybe as long, if not longer, than the SIP install itself, with little reward visually, unlike putting the SIPs up. Not only were we burned out, but how to attack the next stage wasn't obvious, which was adding the fascia, completing the roof overhang on the north side of the house, foaming the gaps in the roof, putting the hardware in, building our cold roof, and ultimately putting the roof on. I suppose what to do was obvious, but not how to go about doing it at heights with minimal use of equipment, be it a man lift, forklift, or even ladders, which wasn't exciting to think about. How to not spend an arm and a leg on equipment rental wasn't obvious to us, as the entire roof would be slow, tedious, and far off the ground. So while we chewed on that in the back of our minds, we took care of things in the life category. And because we were burned out on even running the camera, very little of it was captured on video. We needed a break. One large, multi-day project was cleaning up the property from the SIP tornado. Putting away and sorting lumber, cleaning up stickers and splines, taking waste to the dump, and cleaning up foam. While we didn't feel like working at all, and especially on things that wouldn't directly contribute to the house getting dried in, we decided to continue playing property cleanup, which included moving our firewood pile in front of the cabin, burning our slash pile, and putting material aside to run through a chipper for garden mulch. Then we decided, wouldn't it feel great to finally get our garden fence up, put the wood chips to use, install a water system, and start using our garden? So we decided to tackle that too, acknowledging that it wasn't drying in the house, but it would be great for the mind and be a small win for us to see veggies growing on our land. It would be something we could visit every day for therapy and remind us what we're working towards. This makes it way nicer in here, don't you think?
Yeah.
There's more gardening videos in the queue, so I won't spoil the surprise. But first thing we worked on was pulling weeds and getting just a couple of beds ready for planting, including spreading compost, leveling the walking area, and using buckets of sawdust we'd been collecting as mulch. This alone felt great on the mind, and once we started, we felt a hint of our mojo coming back. Aside from that, Jesse was spending multiple days a week at the airport trying to get his private pilot's license wrapped up. He'd invested so much time in it already and wanted to make sure to get his license before fire season began and no instructors were available, delaying his license until maybe fall. This was just one more project we felt we had to get wrapped up for peace of mind. While we did do a few things for fun and relaxation, such as catching up on much-needed friend and neighbor time, most of our time was spent tying up loose ends, and boy, were there a lot of loose ends to tie up.
Yeah. In surveying, you get to know your own HI. Your HI is your height of instrument, and that means your eyes.
Huh.
You might be 6 feet tall, but you got a 5'10" HI.
Right.
After the property was cleaned up, we let out a huge sigh of relief. It's like having a daunting, large task ahead of you, and you're annoyed that your house is a mess and the dishes are dirty, but you know cleaning the house won't get your project done. But after doing so, you have a new pep in your step, and you're more motivated to take on whatever life throws at you. Through the remainder of the year and in our upcoming videos, we continue to find house-life balance. Balance was one of our goals this year, but sometimes it seems we do a poor job at it, and we end up suffering from house burnout time and time again. Don't worry, at the time of creating this video, we're just days away from installing the metal roof on our house. Be sure to follow us on Facebook or Instagram for real-time progress, but we can share that the next couple of months on the house build are somewhat rocky ones as we try to recover from burnout, yet begin moving mountains on our house again. Don't worry guys, we're doing great, morale is great, we're happier than we've ever been, but we like to be honest about the journey of building a house. It has its ups and downs, but so is life, and without rain, there wouldn't be any rainbows to enjoy. Burnout is a natural part of life, especially when you try to tackle goals that seem larger than life itself. And it's all about doing what you need to do to keep your motivation up along the way.